Hi, this is Brent from PathandTarot, the YouTube channel and the blog of the same name. And in this video, I'm going to be showcasing my new CBD tarot cards that I recently got printed. The images were made by Dr. Yoav Ben-Dov, and I printed the cards with Make playing cards. So these card images, they come under a Creative Commons copyright, which means that you can use the cards if you give credit and you don't sell them. So that's what I'm doing here. You'll see in the description below what the attribution tag looks like. And if you want to read an article learning how to print these cards, you can do so in the description below as well. I'll leave a link in the article for that, so you can have a quick few tips on how to print these cards yourself. And so I'm just starting off the video giving the cards a really good shuffle. We just wash the cards, place them on a surface and just spread them around a bit. I've got a handkerchief on top of the go board that we're going to use here in a second, just so that the cards have some slip to them. Otherwise they'll stick to the board, because the mat, it's actually like a plastic mat, so the cards stick quite well, which is actually very nice to keep the cards in place. And I really like doing the riffle shuffle for the cards. The cards from Make playing cards are very nice. They're quite thick, but they're thin enough to be able to handle them quite well. I love the default settings of what your tarot card order is. Just whatever it's set to is quite nice. I love it, and it makes shuffling quite easy. And I like to do the riffle shuffle, quite a number of times, like at least between 7 and 10, because then I can feel at least my intention is feeling that these cards are quite shuffled, like there's no clumping of cards or carrying over patterns or things like that. So this is sort of my personal ritual to clear the cards and kind of help meditate a little bit, because you get into a pretty good rhythm with the cards as you shuffle them. So it's kind of a thing to help you focus yourself. So I'm really, in this video, we're just asking a really simple question, like how do we deliver a good card spread? So how can we do that? And that's what we're going to find out here as we work with the cards. And so I'm just finishing shuffling here. And then at the end, I'm going to give the cards like a few overhand shuffles just to mix it up. But yeah, I feel like using the riffle shuffle method is a good way to just get the cards shuffled. So I'm just doing the final few tosses of the cards just to mix up the bottom into the top, and then we're going to start here in just a second. Alright, there we go. So there's the go board that we're going to be placing the cards on and using it to help guide our card spread. So I'm just taking the cards and placing it on the right side, and I'm going to cut the cards right in half and place it on the other side of the go board. And the go board is just basically going to help organize the cards into a little bit of a matrix, so that we can build connections and play around with the cards in a new way. We're going to draw cards alternating from each pile. I'm starting with the left. You can go left or right, doesn't matter, as long as you alternate. So I'm starting with the first card here. We've got a minor arcana card that we're starting off with, and then on the right side we've got the Empress. So we've got a trump card, a major arcana card, and so now we've got a court card. It's the King of Cups there. And we're just going to draw the last card there. So now we've got the Ten of Swords right there. It's hard to see the card images just from this angle here. We're going to get in there in just a second. So I'm just drawing cards off each pile and placing them intuitively based on patterns and connections, like with similar suits, empowering suits, the elemental dignities. I'm considering all that and making connections. And as you can see, the cards aren't quite tall enough to fit that space on the go board, so there's a little bit of space. You can see that right now with the Valet of Wands that I just drew. So there's a little bit of space above that, and I'm going to use that to my advantage to either move the card up slightly or bring it down slightly if I feel there's a connection above or below with the cards. So the middle cards really help determine what's going to happen with the connections as we draw all the other cards out. So right now I've got the the valet of pentacles there, and I feel like I'm going to place it on the top because that feels like that's where a good connection is. I could have put it beside the valet of wands, but I think I wanted like more of a vertical connection there, and now we've got some wands happening beside the Queen of Cups. I think in hindsight I should have maybe put the valet beside the valet, but yeah, that's okay. You know, we're just going to see how this develops, because it does develop in an interesting way here. So we're just filling out the rest of the cards. So right at the top we've got Strength and the Hierophant, so we've got 2 major arcana cards, so there's a nice connection there. And then we got the Pentacles there. We got the 7 of Pentacles, so actually that kind of helps. It makes the connection beside the valet a little bit stronger. And now we've got some cups here in the bottom left hand corner, but we've got the wands in between the cups, so the connection isn't quite strong. So as you can see, I've slid the cup cards up a bit and slid the wands down, so it sort of kind of breaks the connection. And then below I've got actually, I'm glad I didn't put that valet down there, because now I've got wands in the bottom right, more wands in the bottom right hand corner, so that's great. And then as we go above there, oh, there we go, and then there's the final card there, the Queen of Wands. So I'm glad I kind of held out and was able to make a strong connection in the bottom right hand corner. So now we're just I'm just kind of cleaning up the cards a bit so that they're properly placed. It's nice with this plastic mat that the cards actually, they kind of stick to the mat, so they don't move around a lot, and that's kind of nice. They stay put. So far, not bad. We've got a connection in the middle with the Court card. I connected up the cups and the cups, the King and Queen, so that's creating a nice connection there to the bottom cards. But the top is completely separated. There's no real connections in there to use, and I'm borrowing the rules of the game of Go. Really, the game of Go is about connections that are adjacent to each other, like you're literally beside each of the game tokens. So in a way, I'm borrowing that here with the tarot spread. And so if there's a physical, a connection side by side, up and down, that's all being considered. But with how the cards worked out the top, it seems like it's disconnected from the bottom, which is cool. That's an interesting result with these cards, and so it's nice to be able to see that. And if you look at the spaces that the cards are leaving, that can actually give us a little bit of a different shape to work with. So I think it's really cool how the empty space of the board can show us something. So we're getting right in here into the cards to actually show you what the cards are like. This is just using my iPhone, so you got a little bit of a border there. So here we go. That's what the cards look like. You can see the border there, and maybe their English names. And they turned out great. I love how they looked, and so you can really see how they fit on the board there. And it's pretty cool as we go through this little aerial tour of the entire spread. So you got the Chariot at the top right-hand corner to kind of pin it all together, but it doesn't feel like there's a strong connection with the major arcana. It seems like it's fairly weak, because there's not too many major arcana cards. We've only got Strength, the Hierophant, and the Chariot, along with the Empress kind of stuck in the middle. But there's a lot of court cards here, so this is kind of cool. This is kind of an interesting spread. There's lots of people in this spread, so I'm going to get my magic wand out, and we're going to just point out the connection. So I'm just really right here, I'm just pointing out the actual connection between the cards. As you can see that the cups and King and Queen of the Cups are touching, and so now all the adjacent cards are also touching to create that connection. Now I've got the swords, the King of Cups is in between the swords, so as you can see they're kind of slid upwards, and the King is sliding down to make that connection. So that's where you get this pattern here that we can look at and play with. And so there we have it. That's the spread the unique card spread using the Go board with the CBD Tarot, and there you have it. That was actually a lot of fun. This is kind of a cool spread. I wonder what you, the viewer, had as your intention. Did this card spread maybe reveal anything to you? Make sure you like and subscribe here to the channel for updates, and then you can use the links below to learn more about tarot and visit my blog and read about some other interesting articles in tarot and the occult and things like